You know, the DJ game has changed where DJs don't take risks with records no more.
No, they don't.
I've never been like that. Even if I clear the floor, if it's a record I like, I'm gonna try it. If you clear the floor, then I just come behind it with a hit, you'll be back.
Absolutely,
But,
absolutely.
That's where it's at everybody top 40 now. You know, so
Yeah.
you know, I mean, you got to be a good DJ because if you got a DJ that's before you that's just as good as you, he might play all the top 40s then where you at with it.
Absolutely.
So that's why you hear 4 or 5 records that played constantly in a club because the DJs don't have range.
This is true. This is true. I've been in the club where it's 3 different DJs and they all play the same 20 records.
Yeah. Different rotations.
Mm-hmm.
So how would you describe a junk DJ or the sound of junk music?
Junk.
Yeah.
Or juke.
Juke, sorry.
Yes, yeah.
Juke.
You said jump.
Juke, well, a lot of people be saying juke music. Juke is a concept. It was a phrase. It's not the music. It's actually ghetto house music, either techno, Baltimore club. You know, each one of those. Juke is what we used to describe. We used to describe the parties. People like, man, what's up with the party? Oh, man, you know, it's juking.
Yeah.
You know, so people started calling it juke music. I mean, we just accepted it. You know, whatever you want to call it, just as long as you play it.
But it was the history of the word too.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, I mean, like that, the whole juke joint thing.
Well,
like,
it came from Gant Man and oh, that boy, how to fit it, Puncho.
Okay.
Me and Dion used to do like bang on our records, and they didn't want to do it. The younger generation, as they were coming, they didn't want to do it, so they came up with let's juke, and they started saying that, so people started calling it juke music. And we just rolled with it, like whatever you want to call it, that's fine.
I remember the tapes when I was down in school. Like he used to, that man, red solo cup into the student apartments, playing them Ghetto House tapes, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hey, and the party was juking every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It ain't really went nowhere. It's just like, really, it's just a hometown. Like, what kind of throws me off sometimes is that we made the music for the crib, and the crib is not as receptive to it as everywhere.
It's like
I
they
travel a
ashamed
lot,
of it.
and everybody, when we play this music, these people lose their mind of all race, creeds, and colors.
Absolutely.
And then when you at home, they be like,
You don't even hear it.
No, but look, I remember being in Illinois State and being at the Teak House. Now, I don't know if y'all familiar with Tau Kappa Epsilon fraternity. They're white.
Yeah.
They white boys.
Exactly.
You know what? We in there doing shots of Jack Daniels and let me bang. I'm in a house full of white people. You know what I mean? Full of them.
Yeah.
And it set the party up.
When I travel, I think it may be 2 or 3 African Americans in the crowd when I go play, and I play no hip hop when I go out.
That's crazy,
So
man.
it's like people will be shocked at some of these parties. We started to videotape a lot because I'm gonna do they convinced me to do a documentary, so I'm gonna do it. And we've been videotaping a lot of stuff, and people will be surprised at how the Caucasian people gravitate to this music, you know.
But I get mad because, like, you know, like, to me, and I'm always preaching that, like, Chicago needs to embrace house and ghetto house the way that New York embraces hip hop, because it started here.
Yeah.
That's ours. You know what I mean? That's what we're known for. That's our baby. It was grown here, you know, it was nurtured here, and then it spread out. You know what I mean? And it makes me mad, like, when I hear younger cats be like, man, I hate that shit. It's like, what do you mean? Well, then you hate yourself and you hate your city.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? If you hate that, then you really hate your city. Because if you're embracing hip hop like that, and I love hip hop, but if you're embracing hip hop, then you embracing New York and you're not embracing Chicago.
Exactly.
So tell us, how did you get started being a DJ, and do you remember your first gig?
My first gig was a high school. When the DJ didn't show up at our little high school dance.
Yeah.
My friends was like, he got equipment. I'm telling you, he be practicing in the house.
Get you out there.
Yeah. And I look like, I can go get my stuff. You know, so that was my first break. But my cousin, you know, I got a cousin named Gino who was like a neighborhood DJ, but real popular. He came up with Mike Dunn and Farley and all them. I grew up under those guys. So they were like local celebrities. And I used to see that and be like, man, how's they got all these people chasing them and they making this money and from spinning records. You know what I'm saying?
Remember Farley's purple Corvette?
Yeah. And then these guys start going overseas and stuff like that. And they used to bring me into parties, but like through the back door and stuff. I just want to see it. And I was like, I want to see the crowd. Let me bring me in. So my cousin started teaching me how to DJ. And I remember one day they wouldn't let me they wouldn't let me DJ at this big picnic that they had, and this is what started me I learned my first lesson to get your own equipment. They wouldn't let me get on, and I was like, man, I know how to spin like this big old crowd. I want to be in the crowd. Let me show them I know how to get out. Right. He was like, yeah, when you get your own equipment, you can throw your own party. And from that day forward, it was like that was it. I was like, let me get my own equipment, and so I started, DJing parties. I DJ for a cause. Every time I make money, it's for a cause. So even when I hustle for a cause. Indeed. Buy my equipment, I quit. Go back and get the hustle for this. Okay, I got it now, I quit.
You can't stay in it, you got in and out, baby.
In and out. You gotta hustle for a cause.
Yeah.
So that's basically how I got started.
So tell us about the Respect My Grine by himself.
Well, I'm gonna tell you about the Respect My Grine series. Okay. I had came up with an idea where I wanted to bring Chicago artists together that would normally not get together. So I would always tell people that, well, if you don't do nothing else, just respect that person's grind. Mm-hmm. So I just, came up with the RMG title. It's basically, I try to reach out to the north side, east side, west side, all the different artists who got the hot songs I feel that's over there, reach out to them and bring them all forcibly together on one project. So even if I got a John Blue on there, and people out west don't like John Blue, they do, but if they don't, I got somebody else on there that they do deal with. So, it's like I almost get you to push your song, but you're pushing Jay Davis song at the same time, even though you don't get along with them.
Right.
You might not
Jay Davis, John Blue, they both.
That was the idea of the whole project. And I won't bring these projects out, like I'm real touchy about the look. I won't do it without flyers, I won't do it without posters. It's like it gotta have almost the industry feel to
Absolutely.
it. And if I can't do that, then I won't do it. So it's like, even if I gotta postpone the project until I get everything that I need to go,
gotta be right.
Then I'm not gonna do it. So that's the whole concept of the Respect My Grine. It's like respect my grind, but respect the grind of everybody that's in the city. Try to bring them all together at one time.
That's what's up.
How do you feel about the current state of hip hop in Chicago?
I would never. I love my city. It's that I really appreciate the young cats because they're kicking the doors down right now. Even though they're young, they kids, and people got to realize that these guys are 16, 17,
Absolutely.
19. What do you expect them to do? They
What do you
kids.
expect them to talk about?
Yeah, it's like Wednesday I went to sleep, and Thursday I wake up, I'm a millionaire.
Right. Look at my watch.
And I'm 16.
Right.
So yeah, I'm finna spin like crazy. It's like YOLO for real.
Absolutely. You only live once.
I might not make it to 20. Anything can happen.
I was explaining to a cat yesterday who's 22. It was like, I don't get Nas's album. I said, and you shouldn't. Nas is a 39-year-old man who's been divorced and who lives life. Now me, somebody who's 30 plus, absolutely, I get it because I've lived a little more life. So you're gonna have to. So I understand why you like Lil B, the bass guy, and all these guys who not for me, because when I hear them, I'm like, what the hell? No, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? But it's more substance than that. So I'm like, there's nothing wrong with you not getting it. It's not for you.
It's funny you mentioned Nas. I was just on a conference call yesterday, Def Jam conference call, and Nas made a real key statement on the conference call. And he was like, they asked him, did he have any last words? And he was like, yeah, well, when you're on the street or you're walking around your partners, you see people looking down and everything, I want you to look them straight in the face and tell them, life is good. And he kept saying it, all the way at the end of the call, he kept saying, life is good. If you woke up this morning and he was like, I don't know what your God is, and I'm not going to tell you what your God is, but I have my God, you have your higher being, but life is good because somebody didn't wake up.
Right, somebody didn't wake up.
He kept saying that, and it embedded in my head. When you just mentioned Nas, I was like, wow, life is good.
No, it really is, man. Cause especially coming from the things that a lot of us come from,
yes, sir.
And a lot of us ain't here,
yes, sir.
Due to those circumstances,
yes.
You gotta be thankful every day, man.
Life is good.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Who do you think is your top 5 house DJs of all time?
First and foremost, Ron Hardy.
Okay.
Then I would go with Frankie Knuckles,
Okay.
Steve Hurley.
Absolutely.
I'm going with the Chicago people.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Chicago.
Mike Dunn,
Okay.
and Terry Hunter. I've
Yeah.
seen Terry. do
No
it.
Farley in your top 5?
But Farley, he can't be in my top 5 because the people I mentioned, I've watched them play crowds of 10,000
Absolutely.
and mesmerize the crowds. I've seen Farley do it, but it's always been other people involved in the vibe. These people I just mentioned will take crowds by themselves. These are headliners.
Oh yeah, and I'm familiar with that.
I mean, and Farley's my, that's my buddy. That's my, we got a mixtape we working on called King to a King.
Mm-hmm.
So, he understands why he's not in my top 5. I mean, if he don't,
Yeah, I mean, it's like I always say, opinions are
Yeah.
person specific and preference based. Like nobody can get
Oh, yeah.
mad at an
Yeah.
opinion. If you do, then there's something wrong with you. No, I was just asking because I was curious. I was curious to know. Like I grew up on before hip hop. For me, like I fell in love with hip hop probably around '93. Before that, it was all house music.
yeah,
Yeah, it was all house music.
everybody,
Like
all house.
Like I remember being a kid, I couldn't wait till like the Hot Mix 5 on WBMX
Exactly.
came on. Now like I'm a house head, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I'm like, and most people looking at that, looking at me wouldn't know that.
It's funny,
But I'm a house head, so
because I was just telling one of my buddies, about even with the hip hop thing. I told him, me and Dion worked on these mixtapes back in the days called Sox Park Mob. Now hip hop even broke here.
Yeah.
It's house before the gangster grills, and
Yeah.
this is when we were wearing the Izod shirts with
Izod.
the jeans flipped up at the bottom and the penny loafers with the quarters in.
Yeah.
This was everything.
I remember the Sox
feel me?
Park Mob tapes.
So, we kind of shied away from the house music a little bit. What Steve Hurley was playing, and we started getting into the hip. We were more into we were street cats. So we was more into the NWA and Ice-T's. That it fit where we was living. But when I see people who I know came up in them days and they act like they super hip hop, I'll be like, come on, dog.
I know a few
you.
of them.
You know what I'm saying? I remember you.
Them Sox Park Mob tapes, we used to be at Barney's on Madison
Yes, sir.
over there
Yes,
every
sir.
weekend getting
You know
them.
what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm a little older than I look, so I know.
And you're well educated about it too.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Alright, Slugo, we're gonna put you on the spot. You ready?
Yep.
What is the 2 questions? This is a 2-part question.
Okay.
Your favorite city to DJ in, and what is the craziest thing that ever happened to you at a show?
Favorite city to DJ in?
Yeah,
LA.
LA. And what's the craziest thing that you witnessed at a DJ booth? Like some girl ran up, flash you.
The craziest thing I witnessed was in Cincinnati, and I'm never gonna forget this.
Mm-hmm.
The guy, they gave the mic to a guy who said, "Man, look, let me host for you while you're DJing." I'm like, I'm not really into the microphone thing anyway. I talk through the tables. So it's like, I was like, okay, cool. And this white guy was like, all right, I think he wanted me to play Ass and Titties. It's a record called Ass and Titties. And he said, watch what I do when this record come on. And then he called all of the girls up to the front, everybody come up and flash DJ's logo. And it was about 30, 40 girls came, and I was like, you got me fucking kidding. Wow. And not one African American in the crowd.
No one man should have all that power.
All pink nipples.
Yeah, and I looked like, damn. And from that point on, I was like, well, if he can get them to do it. So some of the shows, people got video footage of me getting wild at some of them shows. I get stupid and be like, I'm chubby. So I be like, if I ain't scared to take my shirt off, y'all shouldn't be scared to take y'all shirt off. It's hot. Let's get, I take my shirt off. Women get to throwing their shirts and they get. It'd be crazy.
I knew the women in Ohio was hoes. That's why y'all wonder why LeBron left. Y'all was letting his mama bust down and not say
Them
nothing.
rave parties, man. That's the best
That's
thing
some other.
ever.
That's some next level.
Like
shit.
people, I don't knock my people at all. I love parties here and any other party I do, hip hop party, whatever. But I'm talking about these rave parties. Them people know how to party.
They party.
Yeah.
It ain't no fights, no gunplay.
That's
the
'cause-
worst thing you're gonna see is somebody OD and they be like, hey,
Yeah.
if he can't handle it, you dare.
Right.
Mess this party up. You know what I'm saying?
They will throw your ass like, look,
Slide him in the bathroom somewhere, like get the
I used to bounce at raves. Like I was like 20 pounds heavier, and like we used to bounce. They would give me 200 a night.
Yes.
Like I would bounce at raves.
Yes, sir.
We were told by the owner, hey, take this motherfucking alley. Like we had put many people,
Yes, sir.
like when we didn't know if they was gonna make it in the alley, and was like, that shit didn't happen in here.
Yeah.
And go back in. You know what I mean?
Some water on
We
it.
called the ambulance, you know,
Yeah.
but not the club. They was out in the back, and the police got, hey, it didn't happen
This
in
guy
here.
outside throwing up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Them motherfuckers party though.
Yeah,
They party.
I love
hard.
those people. I love those people. Just make sure when you get your bottle of water, anything like that, make sure it's closed.
It's closed. They ain't put nothing in it, because they will
Yeah,
get you.
They will be
So
like,
true.
come on, we're gonna get on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. So what makes LA your favorite city? What made LA your
Well,
favorite city?
I reason I say LA is because out of all the years I've been in music, in this music game, the guys in LA, I've done records back and forth with these guys in LA, and it took some Caucasian people from LA to throw me the best birthday party I ever had.
Wow.
And the way they had people come out and was like, okay, we're doing DJ Slugo's birthday party in LA. So they gave me a big old rave party, let me headline for my birthday. And I was like, all these years, I'm putting all this work, and it took y'all to say thank you. That's it. But I was humble, like, wow.
If you want to party right, party with white people.
Yes.
That's all I'm gonna
Yes.
say.
I didn't
and we
know-
gonna leave that on the floor.
I
right
did not
there.
realize the power of Jägermeister. What is it?
Yes, Jaeger, yes.
I did not realize that.
And Jameson whiskey.
That will
Yes.
turn you into another person.
They'd be like, you'd be like, whoa.
Like-
They would
like-
trick you under the table.
Oh
That's
yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
And then the chicks are just free. They
Oh, yeah.
start to take things
Oh,
off, and
oh,
it's
man.
awesome, man.
Man.
I'm just saying, that's what I heard.
I heard that too. You know, I DJ and go to my hotel room.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So I mean, what do you feel is true hip hop, or what are some things that you think of when you think of hip hop?
I'm probably not even the person to ask that question because I don't even know the definition of true hip hop. I'm into good music, period. You know, so it's like when people say hip hop, I hear a record that they say is hip. You know, when I think hip hop, I'm thinking, you know, Nas,
Something lyrical.
You know, people of that caliber.
Exactly.
That's what I think. You know, the old Jay-Z. You know, but the days and times of what's happening right now. I mean, no disrespect to their music. 'Cause if people are buying it and
And then there's a
able to feed
demand
their
for it.
families
Yeah,
off
there's
of
a
it,
demand
I'm
for
all for it.
Well.
But is that hip hop?
Well.
You know what I mean? So I don't know the definition. I'm kind of baffled. I don't know the definition. of hip
I'm
hop.
honestly thinking they're gonna come up with a new category eventually.
They're gonna have to.
They're gonna
Yeah,
have to.
a
'Cause
whole
like,
nother
Because you
genre.
can't describe some of this music. as-
No, this
No,
shit is
you
different.
can't. You
Like,
cannot.
It's like
it's
that's
not,
what it
it's
might
not,
be called.
It's not pop.
You know, this shit is different.
Yes, sir.
That's like,
Hip-hop
now
is
this
like-
shit is different category we have, you know what I mean? Like,
And then I personally, I don't like that. I don't like categorizing anything. You know,
No.
just let it be what it is. What is it? It's music.
It's just music.
You know, and that's if you listen to some of the mixtapes I put out, it's like music, man. I don't. If you got a good record, some of the records I can't blend it in with other records.
Yeah.
So it's just like, but hey, just listen to it.
Yeah.
I want you to hear what I'm hearing.
I think categories are more for the businesses because the businesses needed to sell it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's not for the artists because most artists will tell you like, "Nah, I want to be in a category. I'd rather just be, you
Right.
know, in whatever I feel."
Exactly.
But they need the categories because they need a demographic to pitch and sell to.
Exactly.
So it's more for the businesses than
I think
artists.
categories kind of like made music a little bit less valuable.
Absolutely.
You know, because you know they got people who I see doing R&B. I consider gospel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that's gospel. That's
I
not-
heard some gospel.
I heard some
like
gospel. I said R&B.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like
And there's some stuff that they're calling R&B that ain't
that ain't
R&B at all.
You know, so it's like then when you got people, what you got the R&B and the rapper on the song now, and then you got the rapper with the R&B artist on the song. How do you categorize?
I think they was having difficulty categorizing Chris Brown album, last album.
yeah, Chris Brown went everywhere.
Yeah.
And I like
And I love it.
Confusing.
Like I
you know,
love
you
it.
can't categorize.
I tell people all the time, like, man, like as far as the young artist, Chris Brown is probably one of my favorite
Oh, he's a
dudes
beast.
because
He's a beast.
he doesn't give a damn. Like even at this point in his career, like what most people would play it safe. He don't give a shit about taking risk. I mean, come on, he punched Rihanna in the face, so that was a risk. You know what I mean? Like, it was a bad joke. I'm sorry.
It was more like it was a punch, a quick
A
jab.
punch and a bite.
Hey,
No, she bit him.
Yeah.
She whooped him while he was driving the car. Hey, you bite me, I'm biting your ass. You ever been bit before, Paris? That shit hurt.
People don't understand that there are no rules in fighting.
No.
You know, that's
Oh
what
my God, he bit her.
Like when my
He was
man,
supposed to.
J.R. was like, dude, headbutted somebody. You gotta watch for that.
Hey.
I mean, people have the misconception of they confuse boxing and fighting.
I'm fighting.
Like they always say, well, fight fair, man.
What's that
I
called?
don't
What's that?
understand that.
Right, fight
My
fair.
job is we're into it. I'm trying to harm you to keep you from harming me.
I will poke
so I
your
gotta
ass in
do
the
something
eye.
to you to keep you down.
Right.
And when you go down, stay down.
Stay
When you
down.
stay down, then you don't want no more harm come to you.
Exactly.
That's how it goes. That's a fight.
Hey, that's the way I was raised.
Fight, crack, kick, whatever you got, pick it up, hit him with it.
Talk about, oh man, he ain't fight for me, he poked me in the eye. Hey, I won.
Right, you got another one.
Like, look.
Alright, Slugo, on the spot again. Top 5 artists of all time. Hip hop artists of all time.
Top 5 hip hop artists of all time.
Yep.
Whoa. Jay-Z,
Uh-huh.
Nas.
Uh-huh.
Believe it or not, I like CeeLo Green.
CeeLo
Oh, yeah.
is slept on.
Yeah.
Andre 3000.
Street Stacks. Make a fucking album, man. I
Yeah.
love Street
I
Stacks.
think of who else. I still love KRS-One, man.
Oh, yeah.
Chris
So it's
is that
like,
dude.
he's the first person to turn me into, like, I started liking hip hop, hearing him. When I heard the BDP, it was like, wow, my philosopher, man. Records like that, man, you could still hit those in the club.
Yeah,
You know,
dude, still cocky as hell, even though he
Yeah.
in the game. He said, I don't care who you are. You can be the top 5 rappers today. I have a verse that will destroy your career.
Yeah.
This is what he said. This was recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said
He
that.
said,
It was right after that Nelly thing.
That boy rough.
Yeah.
Like, and ain't nobody gonna run it on him.
Nah,
like,
no, they don't want
If you're
it.
smart in your career and your people, you got good people
You don't,
around
you don't need that issue.
Yeah, you know, I wouldn't run
No,
up
they don't want
No
it.
artist should run up on
They don't want it.
KRS-One, but he's my favorite of all time. You know,
Yeah,
KRS-One.
that's fair. I definitely could rock with that.
So, Slugger, what is some advice that you would give an aspiring DJs?
Learn the business. Period. Like we run into that problem in the studio all the time. Like they don't understand the business of music. You know, people gotta understand music, business, and music have nothing to do with each other. Period. Let everybody do their job. Stop trying to be the lawyer, your own publicist, you know what I'm saying, your own manager. These people who went to school or read books and they know more, they're more knowledgeable than you are on these particular subjects. And if you have to pay, got to pay to play. You in a game. This is a rap game. This is the house music game. You know, if you in the game, you got to pick the best players in the game to win the game. And a lot of people don't do that. They get out there. You can't get out there and there's 5 people on the other side of the court. You get out there like, I got them all. No, sir. It's not going to happen.
Look, you either learn now or learn when it's too late.
Because I know a lot of people who don't own it, publishing it right now for not owning it.
Oh, I gotta put this out. Oh my God. This is
Yeah.
the most fucked up thing I heard. Young Buck, they auctioned off all his shit, even his name.
Yeah.
His trade.
Oh yeah, dude. When you sign to a label that like, if you don't see, that's the first thing.
Prince is the prime example.
Yeah.
You took Prince's name. They took Prince's name.
You sign it says the company, like I said, so and so herein after however they word it, referred to as company will own all likeness and namesake of like say for me for instance when I did one deal of Jerome Hollins herein referred to as artist.
Right. Yeah.
And first thing I was like, oh, no the fuck you won't.
Yeah.
I told my lawyer, I was like, that gotta come out.
Yeah.
But most people
Don't
think they don't know that. Like,
They will retain your name.
Yeah.
When you leave everything you made in this house.
Wow.
That's how they operate. You know?
When I left Universal, I left with everything I own
Yeah.
except the $60,000 they still owe me, but they wasn't gonna give it to me anyway.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the money to fight them, so
Yeah.
you know, it's what it is.
It'll come on.
I would, man. They took his name. I want to buy that nickname. If I come in here and I tell y'all to start calling me Young Buck, y'all know I made an investment.
But like most
50
people
get
see
enough
that,
on
yeah,
him.
and they don't know, you know what I mean? They don't really know what that means. That means like, you can only use that name as long as you're signed to them. When you leave, that name stays there. So if they want to grab a little 12-year-old and call him Young Buck, it ain't shit you can do about it. Because they own it, you know.
Just cry and then he still got to go to jail, so that's fucked up.
Yeah.
But anyway, now, do you think the art of DJing is dying when people use like iPods or pre-recorded mixes and stuff like that?
I think the public is killing the art of DJing. Because you'll be in the crowd partying, having a ball, and that man got an iPod up there. You ain't gonna step to him. You know, I think the promoters are part of the problem too. If you got a DJ who you just paid $400-500 to, and he comes down, he got an iPod.
You got 2 iPod decks.
You know, you still gonna pay him. You know, it's like
You still not paying them.
trust me,
They still not paying them.
The fight that's going on right now, that's why I do other things outside of DJing. Like, if you don't have no other avenues and you just a DJ and you in Chicago, you dead.
It's here.
You know what I'm saying?
Wear many hats here.
So it's like, you know, I blame the promoters and the public. You know what I'm saying? Like, call them out. If you got a DJ up there, he ain't rocking, man, go in the booth. Like, hey, bro. You know what I'm saying? Them 2 records you just brought together, them records don't go together. You know, you guys, and women are conscious of that. Women will be like, ugh.
Man, look at him drinking.
It will fuck they whole night up.
Women will turn around, look at the booth like, damn.
Not like,
I done had women look at me like,
Especially black
sometimes I go to a record and, you know, when you get ready to cut their favorite part out, man, women lose it. Like, wait, damn, Wayne was finna come right there. You cut out the Nicki verse. Your ass can't DJ.
they will go.
Yeah.
And they been drinking too.
Hey, I think they should let all women go to all the different clubs and check out all the DJs, and they gonna critique all of the women, cause they party.
They party, like they come.
The women ain't rocking, you done.
Like they come with their girls and they just got paid.
Oh yeah.
They new outfit, new kicks.
hair.
Oh yeah.
You know,
and ask for a record and you don't have it.
Right. You don't have. Yeah, you done.
They gonna be like, wait, hold on, wait a minute. You don't got Rihanna's,
They gonna find a promoter and shit on
yeah,
you too.
you just get somebody else.
Yeah.
Like, how the hell you don't got that? That record been out for a year.
They will find a
And then
promoter
they'll do
that
something.
shit
Wait,
on you.
I got it in my phone. Can you hook it up with my phone? Yeah, I do my homework. Like women, when the studio. The reason I keep a lot of women around in the studio is because they hip to
Yeah, because they'll tell you what's shitty.
Y'all be in the clubs and sometimes y'all be in VIP sipping and drinking the whole time till y'all hit that record. Then y'all hit the floor.
Yeah.
But the other time they critiquing these records like, yeah, I know what they know about. They know the name of the record, the title, who's on the remix, all that. You know, they know it, and they're gonna buy it. You know, they're gonna go on iTunes and like, no, I want the nice clear version of it.
Yeah, because that's how women are. They want their own shit like us. We gonna bootleg it, we gonna dub it twice.
You got that? I know you got it because they sent I heard it on your station. Email me that.
Women, something about women and having their own shit. Oh, that's hers. I want mine.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
women get down.
So yeah, I went through that problem with CDs. I get one on the stay sitting there. I be like, well, you know, y'all together, so I get.
You like, that's her.
That's I don't fuck with her like that.
I'm just here because she asked me to come out with them. I don't fuck with her.
So you saying she cuter than us? You just gave it to her? I really only had 2 CDs.
Right, that was it.
That is
So I
so
wanted to
funny.
get that. Women, y'all
Different, man.
You know, but I love them. You can't live with them. You can't live without them. So
Exactly. We're gonna make your craft better.
yeah.
So, how is it working with local and national artists? And do you prefer one over the other?
I prefer local artists. I prefer the ones that's grinding. You know, those that's trying to get to the top. You know, those at the top, you there already. You know, like I'm in tune with the LEPs and the Twisters and people like that, the Chief Keefs and Louis. Them all these is my buddies. I feel like they there already. If you can go spend 60, 200, 300K, you cool. I want that guy that's in that corner standing on there throwing bricks at the penitentiary. You know, trying to get this music out there. Let me help him give him that push. You know what I'm saying? Those are the guys you go for, and those are the guys that some of them. Those are the guys. Those are the guys that remember. You know what I'm saying? And you know they out there struggling. I'd rather take you in, bring you in. You know, like at the show, even at the, I heard y'all mention the Midwest Rappers Ball. We gave away like 10 hours, 20 hours of studio time. You know, we raffled it off.
That's what's up.
And it's crazy. We gave away 20 hours and maybe 5 people actually took the advantage of the studio time. I was,
Wow.
yeah.
That's what's up.
About 5 people took advantage of it. And for me, I'm like, personally, I don't care.
Right,
You know, but for those
So
that
you-
did, you know, I videotaped them in the studio, had them hold up the thing, you know, so people can see like
That's
it's
dope.
real. You know what I mean? It's like I have a facility. That's how I be looking. You know, my studio is like a toy for me.
Right.
It's where I do all my work and I don't have to come to your studio.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's my whole thing. I've always wanted, you know, have my own. But if I got open hours, you know, I share it with people. Like, you know, like, hey, well, come over here, do that, work it over here, you know. But some people are just, it's just some real ungrateful people in the city, bro.
A lot. A lot.
Like some real,
And they want you to do everything
no
for
matter
them.
what you do for them, they're never gonna be happy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, this is all the shit for free. You know that, right? And
You know it costs money every time I hit this light switch,
I
right?
don't understand that. I
Like,
tell people in the studio all the time, y'all know when the first of the month come around, they ain't finna look for y'all, right?
Right.
And then one of y'all on the lease, and you don't go on there, one of y'all credit or none of that.
Right.
So it's like, let's get some work done around.
it's just different when you understand. Like even for me, like taking my bumps and bruises, being through 2 deals really young, you know, and it was one of those things. By the time I got into my second deal, I knew the business well because I took so many bumps and bruises, and you know, I try to share that info with a lot of the younger guys. They don't want to hear it though. They think that it's like, "Dawg, I'm telling you, like," and then they turn back around and look at you like, "Man, you was right. I tried to tell you before you went through it, bro." You know, so.
You try to tell people about your experience. Like I got like 25 plus in this game, and I tell these guys like all the time. It's basically I give it to them in their description. If I tell you don't go around the corner, cause the last time I went around that corner they shot me.
Right.
You got to talk in their language.
Well, that happened to you.
Well,
you know,
they ain't gonna do it to me. They know me, and then you go around the corner, they
pop your ass.
I'm gonna be the first one sitting at your house, but it'll be like I told you.
Right.
What you talking about?
Yeah, they shot you twice.
Right. So you went around that corner, huh? Then with the juice. So you went around that corner, huh?
Yeah, you like I told you they wasn't playing.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, DJ Slugo, I definitely commend you on actually taking people beneath their wings and actually allowing them, you know, the ones that you see who are really grinding and who need the opportunity.
Exactly.
I definitely commend you on doing that. I mean, because when you give life, you receive life.
Oh yeah.
So you're definitely going to remain
Well,
tremendously blessed for the things that you
We
do.
as a people have forgot where we come from. And we forgot our bartering system. You know, African Americans have a bartering system
absolutely.
where money was never involved. And that's what we're getting away from. They are attaining us with money. You know, I remember growing up in the Robert Taylor homes and we got some bread. Y'all got some sugar?
Right.
Or, and
That's
your
how
mama
it
got some
was.
cheese?
Right.
And y'all, all right, we're gonna go get a pack of hot dogs, some cheese in their house. They got some bread. They go see if Miss Jackson them got some mayonnaise.
And we all
It's
don't
all
eat
on one
good.
porch. You know, we got 10 houses on one porch. And if y'all didn't have something, nobody on the porch gonna go without food.
Absolutely.
We cooking, we got a couple of wings left. Go down there and ask Miss Williams, did the kids eat? If not, we got like 20, 30 wings left, something like that. We've lost that.
Yeah, and that was big. That was really big. Like, you know,
we completely lost that.
we lost. It's like, man, you know, if you got this, you got that, and we don't have that. Everybody is like this, that, this, and I tell people all the time. But me, like, people like how much you charge with me ain't about the money. It's about the work and what you're gonna do with it. Of course, we all want to be compensated, but at the same time, you may have a service that you can offer that I don't do, and you need me to sing on this for you, and so I'll do this for you, and you do that for me, and that's how it works.
I tell like singers all the time, rappers all the time, like, okay, like you out here doing these verses anyway.
Right.
How about I got this artist over here I'm working with, you come and do this verse for him, and then what do you think that's equivalent to finance wise? And you might say 300. Okay, I'm gonna keep $300 worth of studio time.
Right.
And you know, they don't be thinking like that until you say it. They be like, yeah, all right, cool. But you just like, you supposed to be thinking like that. Don't think about the money.
No,
Like,
they
okay,
think
what
they
you
want
gonna
something
do?
right now. Sure.
Yeah.
Just to
People
touch
don't
on
understand that.
on the bartering thing, complacency with being ignorant is a problem right now.
Yeah.
People, it's not that people are ignorant, they're complacent with being ignorant.
Well, I tell you what a record exec told me. Chicago is not the city of hate. We have honest ignorance here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like some of these people just don't.
They
just don't know. You know, and it's like you cannot hold somebody accountable for something that they just don't know. If it's stupidity, it's like you can't do nothing with somebody.
But they complain. But my thing, what I'm saying is that I feel like a lot of people are complacent with it. And even for me, had I not been in New York, had I not stayed in Atlanta, and took my bumps and bruises there, where there are actually record labels and you get to learn the business, that structure isn't here.
Well, you know what? It's funny we speaking of that. Like we're doing Global Mix, August 19th. They'll have events like that, and some of these cats, now, if they don't come in the room, then you've done what you're gonna do. I've done my part. If it's a room for 75 and only 10 show up, at least 10 get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
10 get it. One of them 10 gonna be sitting in the studio one day,
And one of them gonna
and
win.
somebody finna do something. They go, hey, that ain't the way that's supposed to be done. You know?
Right.
Why y'all finna record this song no split sheet?
Right.
Let's do the split sheet first, cause we might get amnesia later on.
Those are important. And
Yeah.
I tell people, you know what? Like, look, let's do the split sheets. We record the song, keep it moving.
I've said split
I
sheets.
tell
Some
people
they
all
be
the
like,
time.
What's that?
Wow.
You be like, wait a minute, you
People
report a happy
real funny when them checks show up.
Man.
Hey, when them checks show up, people get
You ain't
different.
got to tell me.
They get different,
I said,
man.
So I didn't write that hook.
No, motherfucker.
People like, by you just mentioning something in the studio, you felt like you wrote that. You know, it's but.
Alright, oh, okay. Well, Slugo, I want to thank you for coming out, bro. I really appreciate it, man. Give your Facebook and Twitter and all that information.
Mine's is simple. You don't have to go to Facebook and Twitter. You can go to my website. It's DJSlugomusic.com. And you can go to blockclubdjs.net. Shout out to all my Block Club DJs.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yep.
Well, thank
We
you.
got the biggest DJ crew in the city.
That's what's up. Yeah. So we're going to take a quick break. Thank you again, bro. We're going to come back to more of the Jay Davis Show.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, bro.
No doubt. You got a sweaty palm.